Namaste students. Today we are going to learn about chapter 7 in history, that is tribes, nomads and settled communities. You saw in chapters 2, 3 and 4 how kingdoms rose and fell. Even as this was happening, new arts, crafts and production activities flourished in towns and villages. Over the centuries, important political, social, and economic developments had taken place. But social change was not the same everywhere because different kinds of societies evolved differently. It is important to understand how and why this happened. Already the society was divided according to the rules of Varna in large parts of the subcontinent. These rules were prescribed by the Brahmanas and accepted by the rulers of large kingdoms. The gap between the high and low and rich and poor widened. This hierarchy between social classes grew further under the Delhi Sultans and the Mughals. There were, however, other kinds of societies as well. Many societies in the subcontinent did not follow the social rules and rituals prescribed by the Brahmanas, nor were they divided into numerous unequal classes. Such societies are often called tribes. Though sometimes there were conflicts between the caste based societies and tribal societies, they were dependent on each other for diverse needs. This dependence played a vital role in changing both the societies. Who were tribal people? Very scanty information can be obtained about the tribes from contemporary historians and travelers. This is because tribal people did not keep written records, barring few exceptions. They preserved their customs and oral traditions well, which were passed on from generation to generation. Tribal histories written by present day historians are based on oral traditions. Tribal people were found in almost every region of the subcontinent. The area and influence of a tribe varied at different points of time. Some powerful tribes controlled large territories. What were the major occupation of tribes? Some of the tribes were engaged in agriculture for their livelihood. Others were hunter gatherers or herders. Since agriculture was seasonal in nature, they made maximum use of natural resources by often combining both these. Some tribes were nomadic, that is, they were not settled at a place. A tribal group controlled land and pasture jointly, which were divided among households according to its own rules. Many large tribes, which thrived in different parts of the subcontinent, usually lived in forests, hills, deserts, and places which were inaccessible. Sometimes the tribes clashed with the more powerful caste based societies. They retained their freedom in many ways and preserved their separate culture. Almost in every region of the subcontinent, we can find tribal people. At different times, the area and influence of a tribe varied. Some powerful tribes had control over large territories. In Punjab region, during the 13th and the 14th centuries, the Kokar tribe was very influential. Later, the Gakhars gained more importance than them. Their chief, Kamal Khan Gakhar, was made a noble by Akbar. In Multan and Sindh region, the Langas and Organs dominated extensive regions before they were subdued by the Mughals. In the northwestern region, the Balochis, they were divided into several smaller groups called clans. Each clan was under a different chief. In the western Himalayas, the shepherd tribes of Gadis, In northeastern India, the Nagas, Ahoms, and many others. In present day Bihar and Jharkhand, Cheros tribes. In present day Bihar and Jharkhand and Orissa and Bengal, Mundas and Santals tribes. In Maharashtra, Islands and Karnataka, Koli, Berats, and many others. In Gujarat, Kolis tribes. Further south of Gujarat, Koragas, Waiters, Maravars, and many others. In western and central India, Bhils tribes, present day Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh, Gonds tribes. Chero chiefdoms had emerged in the present day Bihar and Jharkhand by the 12th century. They were attacked and defeated by Raja Man Singh, Akbar's famous general, in 1591. Though large amount of booty was taken from them, they were not fully subdued by him. But the Mughal forces under Aurangzeb captured many Chero fortresses and they were ultimately subjugated. Evolution of tribes. By the late 16th century, many tribes had become settled agriculturists and some even zamindars. Nevertheless, many Bhil clans remained hunter-gatherers. How nomads and mobile people lived. Nomadic pastoralists moved over great distances with their animals. They survived on milk and other pastoral products. They exchanged wool, ghee, etc. with settled agriculturists in return for grain, cloth, utensils, and other products. They bought and sold these goods as they wandered from one place to another, transporting them on their animals. Who were Banjaras? The most important trader nomads were the Banjaras. Their caravan was known as Tanda. Sultan Alauddin Khalji used the Banjaras for transporting grain to the city markets. The memoirs of Jahangir reveal that the Banjaras carried grain on their bullocks from different areas and sold it in towns. During Mughal campaigns, they transported food grain. When the campaign had large armies, the number of bullocks carrying grain could be as high as 10,000. Many pastoral tribes reared and sold animals like horses and cattle to the prosperous people. Different castes of petty peddlers who travelled from village to village made and sold wares such as ropes, reeds, straw matting, and coarse sacks. At times, mendicants acted as wandering merchants. There were castes of entertainers who performed in various towns and villages for earning their bread and butter. We will continue in next session. Thank you.